It is day 26, I believe. We're actually getting towards the end of this technique odyssey. Well done to everyone who's stuck with it the entire way so far. Today we're going to return to the subject of arpeggios, but we're going to be coming at arpeggios in a slightly different way. I'm going to show you some of my favourite diagonal arpeggio shapes. I use these quite a lot. It's a really good way of covering a lot of ground quickly on the fretboard. So the exercise which we're going to learn today goes like this. So I'm just running through some diagonal arpeggios. We've got a G, an A minor and a D major. So let's begin by just going through how these shapes work, starting with the G major. So we're starting here, that's our root note, G at the 3rd fret on the 6th string, and then at the 7th fret we've got the B, which is the 3rd, and then the 5th at the 5th fret on the 5th string, and then we've got another root note here. So it's this basic arpeggio shape that we're working with. We've got 2 notes on the 6th string and then 1 note on the 5th string, and rather than stretching, I'm actually using that note here to move up the fretboard. So I would tend to play this with my 1st finger, then I'm actually shifting into the next position, 3rd finger, and now my 1st finger is at the 5th fret. So it's that shift that is taking you diagonally up the fretboard. So we've got root, 3rd, 5th, then we're going over onto the D string. It's really the same move, but we've now come on to another string set and are playing it an octave higher, but it's this same move, G, B and D. So the root, and then you shift the 3rd and the 5th, exactly the same as this. Let me just do it again. And then we're actually doing it one further time on the top pair of strings. So we've got a G, a B and a D. So once, twice, 3 times, and then we can finish the arpeggio just by playing this high G note. And then you can descend. So there are various ways that you could finger this. I'm not actually using my pinky very much with this. I'm actually shifting onto my 3rd finger quite a lot. Here I'm playing my 2nd finger and then I'm going onto my 3rd finger there. So that's the way I like to do it. There might be some other possibilities, so you can experiment a little bit with that. But that's our G major diagonal arpeggio. Next we're going to do a very similar thing with an A minor kind of a sound. So the notes now are A, C and E, but the way these arpeggio shapes are put together is exactly the same. We've got our root, 3rd, and then 5th, and we're just shifting up the fretboard. Then we do the same thing, root, 3rd, 5th, and then we can do the same thing here, and then a final high root note. So the fingering might be slightly different here, so I'll maybe get onto the 2nd finger for the minor 3rd, again here 2nd finger, 2nd again, 1st, and then pinky. But I love the way these arpeggios kind of flow elegantly up the fretboard. Next I played a D major arpeggio starting with a 5th string root, but this arpeggio works in exactly the same way. We've got D, F sharp and A, then we do the same move in the next octave, and then D, F sharp. Here we run out of strings, so I'm actually playing D, F sharp, I'm stretching up to the A, so playing all 3 of those notes on the single string, and then descending. So then I just put together all of those arpeggios in one continuous exercise. I just went up and down the G major, up and down the A minor, up and down the D arpeggios. And you might want to work on those arpeggios individually to start with, just to get them smooth. The important thing here is playing them smoothly, connecting the notes together smoothly. So you want to try and avoid too many gaps between the notes, and the way of achieving that is just with very quick, efficient position shifts. So no gaps between the notes, and you also want the rhythm to be nice and steady as well. So start slowly with this and gradually build up speed, but the entire exercise, when you play it continuously, sounds like this. Good luck with that, and I will see you tomorrow.